Willow has more issues than the one eye.
Just doesn't work, doesn't hit, yeah.
Buffy they found on the street pregnant.
This is Willow. She's a one-eyed orange tabby. And this is her sister, Buffy. And these are their parents, Kristan and Reid of the Comic Slayer on YouTube. We get to know them all today on Industry Pets. So we're here to talk about Willow and Buffy, very special kitties, and also they're kind of a big deal on the internet. So Kristan and Reid, you are their parents. How are you today?
Oh, doing great. How about you?
Fantastic, doing great.
These cats are so cute and amazing. Thanks for taking the time to talk to us today. So Willow has an interesting name. How did you come up with Willow?
Willow comes from my favorite show of all time, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Her best friend in the show was a witch, Allison Hannigan. She had red hair. Willow is a ginger cat. So that came together pretty easy. Our other cat's name is Buffy. So they're besties on the show, besties in real life. It made total sense.
Very cool. I love that. So Willow has one eye. What is up with that?
She had two at one point in her life, if you could believe it.
Yeah.
She was actually rescued from a really bad hoarding situation. So this house had like over 40, I think, or so cats. And the shelter we adopted her from rescued her when she was a kitten. She had a really bad eye injury, so she had to pretty much immediately get that removed. We don't know what happened. I guess maybe a cat fight or something. But she got that removed, and when we adopted her, she was about 1, they said. And we adopted her with Buffy, and we took them to the vet after that, and then we realized Willow has more issues than the one eye, which she's fine with. Like, she gets around just like any other cat. We have to sometimes get in her right eye for her to know that we're like, we don't want to sneak up on her or anything, but that's fine. We took her to the vet though, and he checked in her mouth, and he was like, hey, her teeth are basically rotting inside of her mouth. So we unfortunately then heard about stomatitis, which is something Willow has. She will have all of her life. We didn't know then. The shelter didn't tell us, and they knew. So that's a whole other story of sadness. But one of the things that helps, quote unquote, cure stomatitis for a lot of cats is getting the teeth removed. So basically, it's kind of like the bacteria in their teeth is like fighting their mouth. Is that
it's like it's an upper respiratory infection that then manifests itself in the mouth, and so it really festers in their teeth. So a way to help alleviate some of the discomfort, the pain, and some of the issues is to actually get a full mouth extraction to remove all of the teeth, which that's what we've done with Willow. We didn't do it all in one. We removed like a lot of the smaller teeth and left the canines at first, and it got a little better, but not great. And then we finally did do the full extraction of all the teeth. So she has no teeth and one eye, and she's just this little sweet little girl. But she gets around just fine. She does everything fine. She can't bite you, which is great.
Not that she wants to, but
no.
Every now and then she'll get kind of playful and try to bite us if we're like, rubbing her stomach when we shouldn't be. And then it just feels like a wet, warm hug, honestly. So.
She's so mad. She's trying to teach you a lesson, and then
right.
And it's just it just doesn't work, doesn't hit.
Yeah. What kind of diet does Willow have?
All wet food in this house for cats. That'd be weird if it was everyone. But Buffy also, we can't just give Willow wet food because like they're swapping bowls all the time. So they both have all wet food. Food's a little expensive in this house, but it's okay. She's worth it. Yeah,
and we mix a little water in with it just to give it as a little more soupy and just easier for her to lap up. And she does fine with it. She does. I mean, I don't think she really probably doesn't need that. I just think it makes it a little easier for her because sometimes if you watch her, she'll be eating and then just like will all fall back out of her mouth at times because she just can't keep it all in. So
did they both come from the same home when they made it to the shelter?
No, they were Willow's from the hoarding house, and Buffy they found on the street pregnant. The shelter honestly didn't take great care of both of them, but she had like the worst ear mite problem that my vet had ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So this place just didn't take care of both of them. I mean,
they were
stomatitis you can't help, but they didn't tell us about that, right? So it's kind of like a surprise to us. But at that point, we were in. We'll pay all of our medical bills. It's fine.
Knowing what you do now, what are the things that you would ask for from a shelter?
I would say, because so many people, when you go to a shelter, people want to go and get kittens, or they want to get younger cats, or more playful cats. And granted, we got our cats, they were probably around 1 and 2, so they were younger, but they weren't kittens, and they were kind of, both of the cats, both Buffy and Willow were returned to the shelter, and we didn't really understand why. Willow, we think it probably was they found out her medical issues and didn't want to take care of that. Buffy she's a wild card. she's a little more mischievous. She's really exploratory. I say she's a dog, legitimately. She plays fetch. She wants to get into stuff. She wants to be around you. She wants to be in your business all the time. She's really loves people. So she's very much like a dog. And I think some people didn't want that. They weren't into that. So we kind of, when we found out that they had both been returned, it was sort of extra important for us to want to give these cats a loving home and give them, just a place that they can feel safe. And because I know that they didn't have that, and looks like Buffy just got in here, and so she's wanting to be around us right now. And it's just that's what we look for if we ever talk about getting another cat or something like that. We're always looking for a cat that maybe didn't get an opportunity, I feel like, to get a home.
Yeah, so I would say if you're looking to adopt, certainly look into the shelter you're adopting as well. Go talk to people in there. I'm, no regrets. I'm so glad we got them, and we kind of saved them from a shelter as well, right? But we would never go back there. We would never support that place again. So look into the shelters you're adopting at, and also just ask a lot of questions. If there is a medical history, ask to see that file. They kept Willow's file from us. We've still never seen it. So there were certain little shady things that weren't great. But yeah, I would absolutely say go out and check out those cats that have special issues that maybe you didn't realize you could take on, but you totally can, and they need you.
Mm-hmm.
Did Buffy and Willow get along at first when you brought them home?
No. And we learned after the fact. So both of us were not. I grew up in a house that didn't have pets, growing up. Kristen's house had pets, but they didn't have cats. And we were both not cat people at all. We didn't think we were going to be cat people before we met these cats. So we were a little bit naive to knowing exactly best to introduce cats to each other and things like that. So we kind of it worked out fine, but we just sort of lucked out. We just got them home and just were like, there you go, you're free. Look, you're at our house now. And they didn't get, I don't think, it wasn't horrible. The first couple days were a little bit risky. Just Buffy's very territorial and protective, rather. So Buffy would sit, would be all up, with us, and she'd be in our bed and just hang out with us. And then Willow would get close and Buffy would start to growl. No, these are my humans now. If these aren't for you. So it was kind of like that, and it just took a while for them to get used to each other. But they did get used to each other, and now they're fine. Now they'll lay together, they'll cuddle each other. They still have a few little playful fights, but
I feel like it's a sibling thing, though.
Yeah, it's definitely, it's just just little siblings arguing and wanting to play together and bother each other.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend, though, for anyone thinking about adopting, if you're ever going to adopt a cat, one, consider 2 cats. For sure, consider 2 cats. I think it makes a huge difference. They can play with each other. They can wear each other out. It's just kind of like dogs, 2 together, they can wear each other out. But also look up some Jackson Galaxy videos, because Jackson Galaxy is the cat daddy for a reason. He knows what he's talking about. He has the best way to introduce cats, and if we could do it again, we would have done it that way. But it all worked out, thankfully.
You're a huge comic fan, so if your cats could turn human and become superheroes, which superheroes would they be?
Ooh.
Oh, that's a good. Well, I know Buffy.
Yeah, tell me.
Well, Buffy would probably be Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah.
Because she's climbing up everything. She's all over the walls. She's everywhere.
Sometimes I think she is Spider-Man. I'm like, how did you get up there? Willow would be maybe one of the weirder, smaller ones. Maybe like a Squirrel Girl situation or something.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Which, fun, quirky, a little different. I think that's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Robot litter box or traditional litter box?
Traditional.
All the way.
Yeah, I feel like the robot ones would terrify them. I feel like Willow would not go near that.
We had a run-in with a robot situation in the house early on when we first got him. We got a Roomba type thing.
It was a mistake.
And it was a one-day purchase because they were horrified of this thing. Just anything moving on its own. And like we thought like, oh, they'll get used to it, because like we saw videos of like cats riding on them, and we were like, that's what'll happen, they'll be great. And then no, they were terrified of it. So anything robotic, just I think
yeah, that's true.
And the last thing you want to do is, you don't want anything like involving like a litter box is a place for a cat to like feel their territory, and like it's their scent, it's all sorts of things. So you don't want them scared to go into a litter box. And so we were like, let's not risk that.
Yeah. I know it works for some people, but it wasn't worth that price tag for us.
Yeah.
So.
Now, metal scoop or plastic scoop?
We do the metal.
Metal scoop all the way.
It's easier to clean. It'll last longer. Buffy still chews on the handles, but it's okay. It's okay because they're metal.
All right, and then what are the top 3 treats that you give Willow and Buffy?
Churros
forever. Churros are those like meat tubes.
Meat tube Go-Gurt.
Yeah, it's kind of Go-Gurt for cats.
Go-Gurt, but for cats.
Which they're perfect. It's perfect to put pills in, because we have to give Willow a pill. We'll crush it up. We'll give her a Go-Gurt. Willow won't eat it out of the tube. She's very picky. She'll only eat it on a plate. So we put it on a plate, give that to her. Buffy will eat it out of a tube. Loves it every time. Buffy's more open to other treats.
Yeah, with Willow we have to be careful because of the no teeth. Like Buffy loves the meowana. Is that how you? I don't even know how to say it. Meowana. Like these little like catnip treats. She loves those. To the point where like she flips out if she hears a bag rustling, because she thinks that's what it is. But Willow doesn't have a lot of interest in them because they're crunchier, so she could eat them, but she probably doesn't get enjoyment out of it. She also doesn't react to catnip like Buffy does, so she doesn't. Yeah,
Buffy's really into the drugs, the catnip, but Willow's not.
Yeah.
And so that's 2. Do you have a third?
Oh yeah. I don't. Those are really the only treats. Yeah,
there's some blue buffalo ones that Buffy also likes. They're like these little kind of soft ones, which is good because, Buffy's getting older. She's got fewer teeth as well. Our cats both have mouth issues, apparently. She has gingivitis. So yeah, they're these like blue buffalo little squishy kind of treats. She likes those too.
What are 3 tips that you'd give to anybody thinking of owning cats for the first time?
I'm going to go back to check out Jackson Galaxy videos. I'm going to keep preaching that.
For sure.
We did that too. We, researched it because we'd never had cats. Cats, we were just thinking would be better for our schedule at the time. We weren't at home as much, but we wanted, also 2 of them to have each other. So definitely Jackson Galaxy videos.
Absolutely. The biggest thing is just like, you will surprise yourself if you've never owned cats, becoming a cat person. There's a combination to figure out when figuring out what your cat needs, likes, wants, and ways to make them happy.
3 would be, I also think cats get a bad rep. So I think you need to look beyond that, especially if you've never had a cat before. If you want a cat that's always going to be in your lap, there's plenty of those out there. And I think people kind of overlook that, or they assume that those cats don't exist. You're probably thinking of feral cats on the street, and that's understandable. But the ones in your house, they can be just as cuddly and lovely as dogs.
What does owning cats do for your mental health?
That's a huge one.
Everything.
I mean, truly.
It does so much. Specifically speaking to my mental health, I'm bipolar, depression, anxiety, ADHD. The cats help me in a way that like soothes me in a way I'd never expected, and stimulates in a lot of ways, because there's always something going on, and then when there's not, it's relaxing.
Yeah, I feel that way too. I struggle with anxiety, and there's something to be said. I mean, there's a lot of articles out there about the cat's purr as well, and Buffy and Willow will both like get right on us. Buffy loves sleeping on my side, which helps me go to sleep. She'll just like lay there and purr, and I'm like, okay, this is nice. Like, it's our own built-in sound machine, kind of. Yeah, they're so great. They're very calming and lovely, and everyone needs to, experience a cat once in your life. Go to Cat Cafe, I'm telling you.
Absolutely.
You think you're not a cat person, you could be.
Kristan, Reid, tell everybody what you got going on and where to find you.
You can find me here on YouTube. The Comic Slayer is the channel name, and we talk about all things comics and books and reading in general. It's a good time over there. You're there sometimes.
I'm there sometimes, yeah. I'm every once in a while.
Yeah, but you're busy writing books, right?
I am, yeah. You can find me on, I'm on social media at Reid Chancellor, and you can find my store links are there as well. But I'm a comic creator and artist and illustrator. Got 3 or 4 books out now. You can get, a lot of them are nonfiction comics about my struggles with mental health and also my involvement in punk rock and music, the local music scenes. So all of those are out there in the world. I do a lot of gig poster illustration. And then also, yeah, you can catch me on the Comic Slayer YouTube channel every so often, making my wife angry at the amount of talking I do.
That's not true. And check out Summer Vacation.
Oh yeah, and then of course,
Available
yeah,
now.
there's Summer Vacation. Yeah, this is my newest graphic novel, my first fiction long form work that you can get as well online.
And your animals are also on social too, so make sure you follow Buffy and Willow, right?
That's right. They're both on Twitter. You can find them at One-Eyed Willow. She has almost 20,000 followers now. It's no big deal. And Buffy is at Two-Eyed Buffy, so they're easy to remember.
Well, Kristan and Reid, it's been great getting to know you and getting to know Willow and Buffy. Thank you so much for your time today on Industry Pets.